Hello, my friend, beautiful soul, strawberry shift, where yes, of course we have enthusiasm for love, right? And you're here and I want to give you like a hug. I wish I could. Day 21, high five. The crowd goes wild. Ah! Seriously, I'm so happy. I want to acknowledge you. I want to celebrate you. This is big. This is really big. I know this is gonna sound a little corny, but I think you know me by now. I got a little bit of cheese, a little bit corny in me. This is what changes the world. It is compassion. And you're in a conversation around celebrating compassion and you completed this. This wasn't easy, by the way. I remember doing some of these videos and I remember thinking, I wonder how many people are actually gonna do this. I wonder how many people are actually gonna take this action. I listen to my heart and I follow my heart. I'm a devotee to my heart. And I know that some of these actions that I invited you and encouraged you to take were not easy. Even if you didn't do all of them, but if you did most of them and you got here, that is impressive. If you did all of them, then I really, truly, sincerely, and deeply respect you. I really do, because this is deep work. And it's not for the faint of heart. We are going to end today celebrating that beautiful local hero that you have selected. And I'm going to share with you why. Gosh, Mandy, we're celebrating compassion. And why am I celebrating a local hero? Why am I doing that? Whatever you acknowledge in someone else, you bring out in you. So whoever you picked, they have qualities in them that you want to also celebrate in you. So for example, when I picked Dominique, I look at her as one of the most self-reliant, courageous, strong. She's very strong. So self-reliant, courageous, and strong humans I've ever met. Hello. I'm still not used to how to point to the lion. It's like, that's the epitome of the lion, is it's not an accident that that's my spirit animal. And so me celebrating Dominique is me bringing out and acknowledging the self-reliance that is within me, the courage that is within me, and the strength that is within me. Whoever you picked, ask yourself, what characteristics do you see in them that you really admire? And I promise you, those are characteristics that are within you that you want to bring out more of. Because when I look at, for myself, this next chapter that I'm going into and this transition, that's what is required, is I need to be even more self-reliant. I need to be even more courageous, and I need to have even more strength. And so me celebrating Dominique, it's like it gives me permission to ignite that within me. And so today we're going to have some fun. I mean, today is up to you how big you want to go. I've had some clients where they had some connections with their local news. What I'm doing with Dominique is I highlighted her on my social media. I also share her and her story with friends and clients. So don't minimize the power of one-on-one quality conversations. Our ego tends to think, oh, I need to go on TV and I need to do radio. Yes, that's great. That's wonderful. And don't minimize the power of sharing this person's story one-on-one with someone, because you don't know what medicine that is giving to that person. You don't realize. We've been so conditioned to minimize the power of sharing the stories. I hope you get that after going through these 21 days, is the stories that we tell matter. Think about it. I look at, I'll be transparent with you. When I reflect on many of my past friendships and relationships, and I look at the quality of the conversations and the things that I talked about, most of it, I'm gonna be dead honest with you, I was complaining. Now I can have compassion for that Mandy, not shame that Mandy, because that's all that Mandy knew. That Mandy was taught to complain. If I reflect back on what I talked about the most, first off, I was focused on me, right? And it wasn't positive me. It wasn't self-loving. It was usually self-loathing. I was usually beating myself up. And it was usually like, why is this happening to me? So it was usually a victim. So it's like reinforcing that. And I was usually complaining or blaming or judging. And that is the conversation that if you listen, and this is not for judgment, by the way, this is not to judge or shame other people. This is the frequency. It's like a radio station. This is the frequency that most people are on. If you listen to the conversations that most people are in, most people are talking about me, and they're talking about, or if they're talking about someone else, they're usually judging or shaming, right? This is what we've been taught. And then we wonder why we don't feel good. And we wonder why we're anxious and depressed and not inspired. It's this quality of these conversation. And if you've been in those negative quality of conversation, this is not to beat yourself up and this is not to shame yourself. This is to go, oh yeah, I was taught that. And that's all I knew. And we have to relate. Oh my gosh, we have to relate. We have to connect. And you were taught to do that. And I was taught to do that because that's what bonded us. That's what connected us. Oh yeah, can you believe the weather? Oh yeah, can you believe this? Oh yeah, da da da. So that's like, we were taught. You know, there's a funny scene it's a Clint Eastwood movie. I think it's Gran Torino. Regardless, there's a funny scene where he takes this young kid, I think it's Gran Torino, where he takes this young Asian boy and he's teaching him like how to be a man. And he takes him to this barber shop and he tells him, it's a funny scene. It's really funny. You could probably YouTube it, how to interact with other men and how to talk to other men. And even though the scene's funny, it's kind of sad because of how like men were taught to talk about other men, and he had like put down his boss and he had to do this and he had to complain about that. And that's how we would be accepted in this environment, is to talk this way. You know, and they made the scene funny, but I'm bringing that up to highlight and just help us all become aware, you and I, to become aware of, oh yeah, we've been taught this in order to survive. So this bonding about complaining and this bonding about gossip, and then women, how we have bonded as women is we've bonded through gossip. I know I've gossiped. And they've actually done studies that we get we get feel-good chemicals in our brain when we gossip. So it's actually like we become addicted to it. And it's such a low vibe, right? I'm going to bring back my boy, Nikola Tesla. You want to know the secret laws of the universe. You need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I don't know a soul who doesn't want to have a better life, who doesn't want to leave a legacy. I don't know a soul who doesn't want to do something extraordinary, something awesome, but very rarely are they willing to change the conversation that they're in. So if you want to change your life, you want to change, you want to up, you want to have that extraordinary life, you want to make an impact, you want to do that, we can't have these low-level conversations. And again, please hear me when I say this is not to shame you or to shame other people and to judge other people. We were conditioned, we were taught this over and over and over again. And it takes tremendous courage. It takes being a rebel to not have these conversations. You're definitely going to be different, especially if you're a woman and you're not willing to gossip. If you're a man, you're not willing to complain. So you're going to stand out. You are, but you're going to attract a different type of human. You're going to attract a different conversation. Either the people in your life are going to level up and they're going to love this new conversation, or you're going to attract people who are. It starts with you having this conversation about this hero. I mean, how cool is that? You know what? Can I just tell you how inspired I am by this person that I found out about? Blah, 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 blah. That's medicine. That's medicine for you. That's medicine for that person. And then you're acknowledging that beautiful hero. And you don't even know who you might tell, who might have a connection to a media source. Who knows? I can't wait to hear what comes up for you. Put in the comments, go ahead and share with me. I'd love to hear who you picked, who you're highlighting, why, and how you're going to share them. How are you going to celebrate them? Congratulations! You did it! You did it! 21 days! Woohoo! Celebrate compassion, my friend. Take care.